because we all need to go back and take refresher training. We lose information as time passes. The reality is we need to be able to have access to refresher training, and everyone who achieves peak performance does so by going back and sharpening the saw, if you will. If you look at anyone who consistently achieves a high level of performance, they're always seeking external training, they're always practicing, and they always have ongoing coaching, mentoring, and tutoring. Look at Tiger Woods, Phil Mickelson, two of the greatest golfers in the world. They continually practice and seek coaching and tutoring. Look at all professional athletes. What do they do week in and week out? They practice, practice, practice. Look at our sheet of music. What does the professional musician do? Practices over and over and over. Because as that practice pursues, your performance becomes better because you're conditioning yourself to understand the visual cues, regardless of the discipline. And trading is the exact same way. In other words, we all learn the same way. What you see on your screen now is a screen that says effective learning. This is by the National Training Laboratory. We retain information based on the same processes. I hear all the time, well, I'm just going to read a couple of books. Bottom of the graph, 10% we learn, we retain information, 10% of the information via reading. 5% by lecture. That's why I always ask people to attend this session a second time. I'm amazed that when people attend the first time, everyone feels they catch all the information. 85% of their questions were addressed in the presentation. It's just so focused on live markets, you're only hearing a portion of this information. We all learn through repetition. Our training program here at the Trading Institute focuses on the top 3 areas of this graph. One-on-one environment, 90% retention. Learning by doing. All of our training is in a real-time live market. Over 90% of our competition uses less than 5% of the training time in a real-time live market. There's a number of reasons for that. One is their strategies don't occur frequently enough to be able to trade in a real-time live market. The other is they're trading on large time frames, or they're trading trend-based trade technology, so that the trading setups happen so infrequently, they're forced to trade, or they're forced to teach you in a canned environment. We all learn best in real-world conditions. 50% discussion groups. The final phase of our training program, our 2-day on-site class, we keep these classes in a small boutique format. This is an individualized interactive program that we offer here at the Trading Institute. And that's why our traders have such a high level of success. Look at 20% retention just by learning from trying to watch DVDs. My point that I'm trying to make is we all learn and retain the information the same way. It's been scientifically proven. So anytime the process focuses on the areas where we have the highest level of retention, means that we're going to have the highest level of success. So our multi-phase processes is phase 1 is access our online learning center. This is a password protected website. In this website there are 5 training modules, or 5 core modules with 25 individual segments. It's a multimedia library. We have it in this online password protected venue because we can constantly put in new conditions, new information. The core foundation of our strategies and our trading methodologies and our trading rules always remain the same, but we can always put in fresh new examples. And that's the problem with buying a set of DVDs, is who wants to watch the same market examples a year from now? That's why so many of these programs, the strategies are so difficult to learn, is because they happen so infrequently. The program is forced to use PowerPoint presentations and these hand-selected slideshows that they click through to show you how the trade perfectly works out. So phase 1 is access the online learning center and get comfortable in the information. We ask you to take a minimum of 5 days to review this information before you move on to phase 2. So I'm going to touch on some of the bullet points in the modules, but I encourage you to thoroughly review this because the learning timeline is outlined here on the website as well. Module number 1, understanding market conditions, how to identify high probability entry points, how to consistently take profit. Module number 2, our equity management, how to pursue trading as a business, high probability trading windows. Module number 3, how to anticipate entry points. Our thin slice worksheet, the planning process, creating a trading ritual. Module number 4 and 5 are our 8 core strategies that we teach. As I said at the beginning of the presentation, I've been involved in the development of a number of popular programs, and one of the things I've learned is quantity of information or quantity of strategies. There was no direct correlation to quality of trading or increase in profits. In other words, I see a lot of, I interacted with an individual last week, had spent $25,000 with a marquee options trading product. He said it was a fantastic trading process. The problem was there were so many different choices. He never knew which choice to use for which market condition. And what he found is whenever he was using strategies A, B, and C, his instructor told him, no, you should be using G, H, and I. So then he gets comfortable with G and H and I, and then he finds out he should be using A, B, and C. And that's the problem with most of these that I hear about. Most of these these programs that are heavily laden with information is sure they have a lot of strategies, but the average individual cannot learn them all because it takes too much time. That's the benefit of learning on trading on a small time frame, is we can focus on these 8 key strategies. Module number 4 we call the Core 4 because these strategies happen every single day. The setup that we had occur today, that just occurred here, was in relationship to strategy number 5 and strategy number 8. So we can plan, and based on conditions we know which strategy has a higher probability of coming into play. But module number 4 is called the Core 4 because those strategies happen every single day. And that's why we have traders that trade into the 80 percentile. Module number 5 is called the Final 4. These strategies don't happen every day, but they happen on a weekly basis. Strategy number 1 typically happens in the morning session. 2 and 3 both happen. 2 happens in the morning, but a little more so in the afternoon. 3 is a momentum-based strategy. 4 is in addition to that. 5 trades in the evening. 6 is a strategy specifically designed to trade when FOREX opens in Sunday afternoon at 4 p.m. In fact, we have traders, that's all they trade. It's their favorite strategy is the Sunday afternoon strategy. They have free time in the afternoon, and they just want to trade that Sunday afternoon strategy. And they do some other things too, but that's one of their most favorite strategies. Strategy number 8 prepares us for announcements. Some we can trade, some we can't trade. The key is it's 8 black and white strategies. Just like there's 8 notes, 8 strategies, it's much easier to learn. You know, I stress this because take, for instance, a King's Crown or a Gartley. This is a very popular reversal strategy. You may see one of those strategies that particular reversal pattern develop once a year. It may take 7 to 10 days for that pattern to develop from beginning to end. It's very, very difficult to trade. What's easier, to see a setup and be in a trade for less than 20 minutes, or have to wait 3 days to get confirmation on your setup and then be in a trade for 10 hours? What's going to cause more stress? What's going to require more capital? It's a pretty easy process, and that's why I ask you to evaluate your personality, because the reality is most people soon realize they'd much rather be in a trade for 30 or 40 minutes, make the same type of profit, and then move on with the course of their day. So phase 1 is take a week or so and review the information in the online learning center. Phase 2 is participate in our 6-hour online class. Our next class is less than a week away. It's this coming Wednesday. We have people attending this session. It's time to start making some decisions because you need to give yourself a chance to review the information in the online learning center. So phase 2 is our 6-hour online class. We use that day's market activity to show you how to apply the strategies. Sometimes we see trades, sometimes we don't. But the key is we can use current market conditions to teach you the strategies, and almost 100% of our competition can't say they can do that in their training classes. We have people from all over the planet participate in this class. We host it in this exact same web conferencing format. We record and archive this class so you can review it later. Our traders who trade at the highest level of accuracy attend this class, if not every month, on a bi-monthly basis. It's that repetition, it's that practice. Because remember, the market conditions that I was teaching the last class in versus the market conditions I'm going to be teaching the class this coming Wednesday are going to be slightly different. So the strategies remain the same, but remember, we have the highest level of retention when we learn by doing. So if we constantly get to see The same strategies exposed in real